Former President Trump is facing a growing legal peril in Georgia. An Atlanta area district attorney has been given the green light to seat a special grand jury in her criminal investigation of Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election results in the state where Joe Biden won. This is the only known criminal case that focuses squarely on Trump's election interference. And the DA, Fani Willis, says that she expects to decide on whether to bring charges against Trump in the first half of this year. Joining us now is CNN political correspondent Sarah Murray and former U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Georgia, Michael Moore. Sarah, to you first, just take us through this. And it's so significant because, as we mentioned, this is the one case about this.
It is significant, and it's been going on for about a year. And so now she's making this move to seat a special grand jury. It's been approved. It's going to give her a lot more powers in order to be able to subpoena witnesses, to gather more evidence. She made it clear when she was asking for this special grand jury that a number of witnesses have been reluctant to speak with her without a subpoena. She even pointed to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who we know, his office has given her already a bunch of documents, interviews with staff. But it makes it very clear she wants to hear from firsthand witnesses. She wants their testimony in front of a grand jury. And, it suggests that she's inching towards this question of, do I bring potential criminal charges against Donald Trump or against others who were helping him in his pursuit to overturn Georgia's election results?
Michael, Counselor, what should worry Donald Trump the most here? Where is his specific legal jeopardy?
Well, I don't think there's any question that there's some good evidence that he tried to interfere with the election and certainly to influence Brad Raffensperger. That's on tape, so I think that's a pretty clear case and, frankly, a fairly straightforward case that I'm not sure that a special grand jury would be needed for. She could simply subpoena people to a criminal grand jury and move the case forward there. It looks like what she's trying to do is maybe broaden out the case to include some RICO allegations, conspiracy allegations, or otherwise to get people out that are in Trump's circle, or at least in the maybe the campaign circle or the party circle there. The fear for him at that point is that suddenly people, they start turning their guns on each other, to sort of use an analogy, and that is that you're going to have people saying, "Well, wait a minute, I don't want to go to jail. This is what I was doing, and who told me to do it, and why." So, anytime you broaden out investigation, then that's certainly something that poses some risk for a primary target, which I would argue he is here.
Because to that point, Sarah, this prosecutor has made it clear her team is looking at a number of things, including Rudy Giuliani and also Lindsey Graham, who, of course, made that call to Brad Raffensperger about votes.
Oh, absolutely. I think that they feel like there is really this narrative to tell about how Donald Trump was not working alone, and it was not just this singular call, he had with Brad Raffensperger asking Raffensperger to find the votes in Georgia, that this was sort of a coordinated campaign and that there were a number of people who were around the former president who were trying to make this happen. And so I think that, to Michael's point, that's the kind of argument that they are going to try to, I think, make before the grand jury and the kind of evidence they're going to want to hear.
Michael, there was a legal ruling on the entire different end of the country right now. In California, a federal judge ruled that John Eastman, who was a lawyer for Donald Trump when he was president or doing some legal work for him, the court ruled that Eastman's got to turn over his emails and documents from the school account where he worked. He was working out of college there. They ruled he has to turn over all those emails. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of them. How problematic is that for Eastman?
Well, it's problematic. It's also a little bit unusual when you have a lawyer that's been forced to turn over emails. But what's interesting here is that the judge has set up a process where those emails will be reviewed for protected information, so attorney-client specific information. But what the judge is not going to do, it appears, is to allow the lawyer to hide behind that when he may have been coordinating other efforts with other individuals, like talking to state legislators and those kinds of things. So again, it's unusual to have a lawyer's email turned over, but there are some rules about whether or not you can use that argument to hide behind or to hide things, to continue to cover things up. And so I think that's what you're seeing. And the judge is very clear he wants a quick process. He was not buying into any of the arguments that the committee didn't have the authority to do this, and so clearly wanting to move the case forward.
Yeah, court after court has ruled there isn't much privilege here when it involves the actions being investigated around the insurrection. Michael Moore, Sarah Murray, thank you both very much.
Thanks. Great to be with you.